Good afternoon, all. Paul from CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Friday afternoon, November 7th. We're looking at Window Traders market profile of the ES and NQ. So after all day yesterday and then A through F today, the market just got too short over the last day and a half. And we spent the last 4 hours taking back some of that short pressure. Without a doubt, that's what occurred. We gapped lower today in ES. It filled. NQ held their gap, not by a lot, but held it. It doesn't count taking it out in the maintenance or overnight. Righty goes out. They have a poor low, which is a monthly low right now. They have two sets of single prints from their price spike above A. Don't forget, they had a trend day down yesterday that they didn't take back. Value play came into play, but they did not get to value high. They did, however, get both overnights. NQ goes out with the price probe. That's it. So it's going to be interesting to see. Well, they have the gap too, but inside of the day's profile, they went out with the price probe. Now that's bullish. ES goes out with a price spike above A and a price probe. They also had the value play come in, but they did not get anywhere near yesterday's value high. Now, let's keep in mind, and I want to go over the charts more than anything today. As impressive as this was these last 4 hours of the day, right? All it is short covering from the last day and a half. Sometimes the market has to rally before it breaks some more. So we're going to have to see if that's what occurs on Monday. If it's something more than that, right? Well, then we should take out today's high and put the daily back to balance right away, right? Very awesome ranges, excellent volume. That's all you can ask for as a trader. Now, I had a really good A, B, and C period, A, B, C, D. I shut down my personal after C. I got the overnight low in A, plus ebb and flow. I got A's low in B, plus ebb and flow. I got the IB low, plus ebb and flow shorts, shut it down. D period, in some of my prop accounts, was shorting it. F period, I took a short against both the single print fill and the 144. And then in H period, I also shorted a single print fill, and I thought maybe that would be an afternoon rally high. Now, even though obviously it wasn't, after H period, kind of started saying I'm done with the shorts because there's nothing that really to lean on. Now, some people might say, well, why wouldn't you long it? Well, the reason I didn't want to long it at that after H is because we still had gap, value, indices, you name it, in favor of the bears in NQ. Now, I did take one long. I took the long to take the IB high out in K. So to me, that's a really good day. Okay? I don't mind missing a grind like that to the upside when the MGI at the time is still telling me that bears are in control. Now, it changed dramatically. ES ended 3-3 on the check. It was 9-0 bears for both of them on our checklist sheet. ES ended 3-3, NQ ended 4-3 bears. So it did change dramatically. But again, I don't mind missing those longs. Not at all. More importantly, I didn't get stubborn and say, well, because of that MGI, I'm going to keep shorting. Absolutely not. After H, I told the room, I'm going to watch this. And then when it got close to A's high, I said, well, the odds of taking out both IBs now are pretty good, and I'm going to take it. And it paid. Okay? Now, let's get to the charts because I think that's more important than anything. Okay? Right now, what's happening? What's changing here after the first week in November? Well, there's some big changes happening in the Russell. As you can see, they took out last month's low. So they're back to balance. How big is the balance? We don't know yet because we still have 3 weeks to go in the month. The last time they took out a monthly low was back in August. And they ended up with an outside month up, very powerful, and we kept going to all-time highs. But for now, and this is what we're looking for in ES and NQ, I think it'd be healthy to come into some sort of balance on the monthly. So for now, we're in balance on the monthlies. Nothing wrong with that. The weekly is balanced because it was up coming into this week. You had 3 weeks ago the all-time high, inside week 2 weeks ago. Last week took out the previous week's high. So this week just put it into balance. So what's our balance? I'm going to say it's 4 weeks. This week's low is the balance low. The all-time high is the balance high. So you have a 4-week balance in the Russell. And the daily is down, right? Closed below the 50. Now, the last time we closed below the 50, looks like it was back in August. So, again, are things changing? Remains to be seen. But for now, the monthly is balance. The weekly is balance. The daily is down. Please keep in mind, we've talked about the excess in righty at the all-time high in regular trading hours. However, the all-time high is in the overnight, just like it is in ES and NQ. Let's go to NQ. And by the way, the volume, fantastic. IWM, 54 million today. They averaged 34. Look at triple Qs, 81 million. They averaged 40-something. Now, the monthly is up. It's an inside month the first week. Remember, if by some chance we have an inside month, that doesn't stop the one-time framing. However, it would definitely put some kind of curbs on the trend. You know, it slows the trend. But we still have 3 weeks. So the monthly is still up and healthy. The weekly is balance. What's our weekly balance? 3 weeks. Last week's all-time high is the balance high. This week's low is the balance low. It's really, you could say it's a 2-week balance, last week and this week. But it's balance, okay? And the daily is down. Now, it's an impressive candle. Look how we bounced off the 50-day moving average. $8 off of it, 8.5. But we still held the gap, and we are down. Remember, NQ never came back into balance like ES and righty did on Wednesday. They've been one-time framing down now for 4 days. Okay? And don't forget, they have this gap and that gap still. So, even though it was a very impressive finish, we have to see if there's follow-through on Monday. Was it just short covering? Right? We don't know. That's why I come in flat and try to be unbiased, because if you don't, you're like, wow, look at this finish. This is amazing. Yeah, it is amazing. What happens if we open $4 low inside of today's range? Then what? So that's why I take what happens with a grain of salt. So the monthly is up, weekly balance, daily is down right now. 81 million. They average 47. And then the S&P, monthly is up. Same thing. It's an inside month for now. Again, from the lows of April to our all-time highs, this thing should come into balance. The weekly, again, it's a 2-week balance. Last week, this week. That's last week's high, this week's low. Take it out, I would call them down. And the daily is down. They came back into balance on Wednesday, 2-day balance. Came out of it bear yesterday, continued bear today. Now, it's a nice looking candle, nice little hammer, just like in NQ. Okay? We did close above the 50. We got below it. We closed above it by almost $6. Last time we got below the 50, forget about closing. The last time we got below it was April 30th. So 6 months. 6 months ago is the last time we closed below it. We didn't close below it today. We got below it. It's also the first time we've gotten below it in 6 months, but that day we did close below it. So again, it all remains to be seen. We have almost 100 million on the tape. They'd have to do over 109 million to get in the top 10. I don't think they will do that in the overnight. But things have changed. The Bears definitely accomplished a few things this week. Number one, they put the weekly into balance. And number two, they went out with the daily down. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to this channel. Rest up, enjoy your weekend, and we'll speak prior to the opening on Monday.